All right, let's dive into something that might sound a little weird at first. We're going to talk about a huge shift happening in creative tech. The idea that the most powerful tools for pros, I'm talking video editors, VJs, 3D artists, aren't in those super expensive specialized workstations anymore. Nope, they're actually hiding in plain sight in the world of high-end gaming. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. That painful stutter on the timeline when you're just trying to scrub through footage. That endless rendering progress bar that feels like it's mocking you. It just kills your creative flow. You have this amazing idea in your head, but your machine just can't keep up. It is the most frustrating bottleneck, but the hardware to completely smash through it, it's finally here. And funny enough, it's come from an industry that is completely obsessed with real-time performance and pushing graphical limits to the absolute edge. That's right, the exact same technology that was built to deliver insane frame rates in video games is now solving some of the biggest, most annoying problems in professional creative workflows. Yeah, this is it. This is the moment where the line between play and professional work just completely blurs. And really, isn't this the dream? To make the technology so fast, so seamless, that it basically becomes invisible. Your ideas can just flow directly from your mind, right onto the screen, without a clunky machine getting in the way. So first up, let's tackle a huge problem every single video editor knows way too well: the dreaded proxy workflow nightmare. For what feels like forever, this has been the soul-crushing standard. You shoot this beautiful, high-resolution footage only to immediately turn around and create these ugly, blurry, low-res copies just so your computer can even handle editing it. It's slow, it's clunky, and it forces you to make creative decisions looking at these smudgy images. It is a workflow born out of limitation, and honestly, its time is up. So why? Why have we been stuck with proxies for so long? Well, the culprit has always been this stuff right here, 422 10-bit video. It's the pro camera standard for a reason. It captures a massive amount of color data, which is amazing for color grading and keying, but for more than a decade, our PCs just couldn't decode it efficiently. It was a total performance killer. And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. For years, your super powerful CPU was forced to do all the heavy lifting, trying to decode this complex footage in software, which led to all the stutters and dropped frames. But now, with new GPUs, like the ones with NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture, the decoding is handled by dedicated hardware on the GPU itself. This is what GPUs are made for. The result? Perfectly smooth, real-time playback of your original, full-quality files. No more proxies, just gone. And look, we're not talking about a small improvement here. We're talking about a 10 times faster acceleration. That's for both decoding, so you can play it back, and encoding for your final export. You can now scrub through multiple 4K streams without dropping a single frame. The proxy workflow is officially a thing of the past. Okay, so let's move on to the next big hurdle, the next big bottleneck: hitting the memory wall. This is what happens when your creative ambition is just way too big for your computer's resources. And you know these symptoms all too well. You're in the zone, you're layering effects, maybe you're mixing a bunch of video clips for a live VJ set, or trying to run a generative AI tool in the background, and then boom, everything just grinds to a halt. Your app crashes, you get that dreaded out-of-memory error, you're forced to compromise your vision because the hardware just can't hang. So you might be asking, how do we actually tear down this wall? Well, it starts with a really important question about a very specific resource: your GPU's video memory, or VRAM. How much is really enough for the kind of work we're doing today? The answer? Well, let's just say it's a lot. Flagship gaming GPUs are now shipping with a massive 32 gigabytes of VRAM. And this isn't just overkill for gaming. This is what lets you edit 8K footage in real time, load enormous 3D scenes, and, this is a big one, run powerful generative AI models right on your own machine without ever hitting that memory. But here's the thing: just throwing a ton of VRAM at the problem is only part of the solution. If your CPU can't feed data to the GPU fast enough, or if it gets bogged down with background tasks, you're still going to get those stutters and hitches. The CPU needs its own secret weapon. And that weapon is called 3D V-Cache. It's a technology AMD pioneered for gaming, and I absolutely love this analogy. Think of it like a chef's countertop. Instead of constantly running back and forth to the pantry, which is your slow system RAM, for every little ingredient, the CPU has this huge countertop of super fast memory right on the chip, with all the data it needs instantly available. This slide just illustrates that idea of headroom perfectly. And for anyone doing live work, VJs, streamers, live performers, this isn't just nice to have, it is absolutely essential. That massive on-chip cache means the CPU can handle all those background tasks, like streaming your output or running audio analysis, without causing stutters in your main creative app like Resolume or Touch Designer. It's the key to a truly stable multi-app workflow.
So let's put all these pieces together. How do these components work in concert to finally end the waiting game and create a workflow that's actually seamless?
Okay, this table really brings it all home. For the video artists, that Blackwell hardware decoding means boom, no more proxies. For the VJ, it means smooth playback, even with multiple streams. That 32 gigs of VRAM unlocks 8K and AI for the editor, while giving the VJ more layers and generative tools to play with. And then 3D Vcache? It smooths out the timeline for editors and gives that critical multitasking headroom for live performers. Each piece solves a very specific, very painful bottleneck.
Okay, hold on, we're not done yet. There is one more absolute game changer, especially for all you 3D artists out there. It tackles one of the oldest, most agonizing problems in 3D creation, that slow, painful process of trying to preview what your final, beautifully lit scene is actually going to look like. And check this out. Here is the solution in action. A technology called DLSS 3.5 uses AI to intelligently reconstruct the image right in your 3D viewport. So instead of a choppy 30 frames per second preview, you get a buttery smooth 75 FPS at near final render quality. This means you can interact with your lighting, your materials, your camera all in real time. You can make creative decisions instantly instead of waiting around for a render to finish. So when you put all of this together, what we're really seeing is a complete redefinition of what a creative workstation is. The lines have officially blurred for good. The key takeaway here is pretty simple. The technology to remove your biggest, most frustrating creative bottlenecks is finally here. It was born from the world of gaming, and it means the hardware has, at long last, caught up to the speed of your imagination. So I'll just leave you with this one final, exciting question. When all the technical limitations are gone, when the machine is no longer in your way, what new creative possibilities will you unlock? What are you going to make?